Everyone, it's Justin Cree from Historic Columbus with another episode of Tuesdays with Justin. Today I'm down in the Liberty Heritage Historic District at the intersection of 6th Avenue and 8th Street, standing in front of what was the historic Porter Auditorium building. The Liberty Heritage Historic District, if a lot of you aren't familiar, is actually not a National Register Historic District. Local preservationist at the time, Joe Mahan, put together a nomination to the National Park Service to get it nominated to the National Register in the mid-1980s, but unfortunately, even in the mid-1980s, the Park Service said that there was not enough building fabric, historic building fabric left to designate the area and neighborhood as a National Register Historic District. And then later on in the 90s, Historic Columbus, along with Charlotte Frazier, worked hand in hand with the city to get the neighborhood designated as a locally designated historic district due to all of its cultural African-American heritage and importance and significance. And so in the early 90s, it was designated as a locally designated historic district. But unfortunately, that was not able to prevent the demolition of this site. This site was built in the early 1900s. It had long been stabilized with steel girders and some other stabilization efforts on the interior, but ultimately the city deemed it unsuitable and unsafe for the neighborhood and demolished the property. Unfortunately, the owner wasn't willing to participate or fix up the structure or ultimately sell the property, and the city was forced to demolish it. But this property stood for over 100 years. It was most notably known as the site of Dr. Coffey's pharmacy, and it served the local area, especially the African-American community. Dr. Coffey was an African-American pharmacist that took up shop here in the Liberty District for a number of years before moving his pharmacy to another location later on. But the site was the location of many local businesses and restaurants, and like you see behind me today, it's unfortunately a pile of bricks. So Historic Columbus is not always successful in saving historic properties, but we do our best to, at the very least, tell the stories and explain the significance of what once was. With that, we will see you all next Tuesday.